Hello and welcome to my pet soul build here in Minecraft Dungeons. So, in a second we'll look at my inventory. Wow, I can't talk today. And I am running Swirling Shockwave and the healing one from Souls. My rolling bow again with the Quivers the Void just to do more damage. And then I've got the Titan here with the damage reduction, soul gathering bonus, and weapon boost aura. Pets, more souls, and pets when I use potions get a faster attack rate and speed. Since we are mainly solely focused on souls. And these guys are really strong right off the bat. And one thing you'll notice is I also have the bees when I roll. Yeah, I died real early. The bees I honestly forget about much through this playthrough until later on, which they really help out when that comes to fruition. But these enchanted mace people hurt so much. And the only healing I really have besides my potion is the souls that I do kill. But the problem is like they don't last forever. And they don't have a lot of health. So you'll see me struggle a lot with the soul intake until I start to actually realize I have bees I can rely on for this and help me with these fights. Because yes, the soul it's a soul build, but it's also a minion build, and the bees are also weak just like them. But I definitely needed the souls for this, because getting started was definitely difficult on the hardest difficulty. And so yeah, you're gonna see me struggle, die a few times, and I think I make it to the end. I think I can. We'll see. I'm using this knife because it does the swirling and the shockwave every single time I attack. It's a one attack combo, which is really helpful. And unfortunately, things like synergy, artifact synergy, don't function when you activate your pets to heal you. I wish they did, because I would put that on instead for maybe some extra healing compared to some other things. But so be it. Potions will help me out. I've got one pal right now, and you can see me struggling a bit. But once I have my pals out, they do so much damage and attack so fast. They definitely are worth it, but they're definitely not one where you could have strictly those. And you'll see as I struggle with a lot of these mobs, and as I die my second time. Gotta love it. Alright. And thankfully I don't lose my souls when I do die, because that would definitely be a major setback, and this build I don't think it could actually really run it all that well if that's the case. You know, one artifact I think they could have put into this was like a way to act, since they have like the artifact that summons like food or potions, why not do one that gives you souls? Because you could run that to really help out with the soul capacity, almost like you're sacrificing the artifact usage for more souls, because that could come in real handy. Oh, I love that right there. And see, look at that. One's dead just because they do so much damage. But as you notice, I've forgotten about the bees spawning with my rolls, and don't do it more often as I honestly should have, because they would help out a lot when it comes to my damage output. And as you'll see when I do realize that I start rolling a bunch with the minions from the souls, it really makes a big difference. Alright, on to where it stops me. And of course, more enchanted mobs. Good lord. And as I'm attacking them, I'm realizing that this is not going to be an easy fight, especially with those hammer bros down there. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. I jumped down, that was a silly me. Yeah, now I've got no lives left. This is not looking promising, but you know what? We will try our best to make it work. I just gotta be a little more cautious and not die ever again. Alright. Last enchanted mob here, I think. Hey, it opens up. Alright, let's keep moving forward. More enchanted. I'm gonna hit the artifacts to get them out and go closer so that they start attacking sooner. I'm not exploring much, I'm just trying to go straight to the objective, especially with only one life left. But I still have to be cautious. My bow is nice, I do enjoy it, comes in handy, but it's definitely doesn't do a lot of damage right off the bat, which is okay. It doesn't got to. But you know what, it fires really fast, 2 enemies, and when I roll and things like that, ricochets comes in very much clutch to hitting multiple enemies. I am gonna grab these supplies just because I get a lot of arrows, and on top of that, that healing for 30 seconds will come in so handy when I'm struggling to stay alive. Okay, don't get hit by the TNT. I don't know how much longer we got, but I know it's going to be a little bit more of a slower process here. Pets always tend to be not the fastest way to get through a mission, but you know what? They can be very enjoyable. And a soul one is definitely not something you would see a lot of. But I think it's definitely a doable build. Just doing it with a challenge, because it definitely is a challenge. As you can tell, it's taken me some time to get through this. And the enchanted mobs really do provide a struggle. I do have damage reduction, but I don't have damage negation for this at 30%, so I do take every hit. So you're not as tanky as you could be. So that's where it gets to be a bit of a problem. Here, I'm just like, I'm gonna summon my minions and hope I can get rid of this Iron Golem, Redstone Golem. And look at that, he actually dies rather quickly, which is good for me, because I don't know if he started to target me how much I could actually take. Into the dungeon we go. Minions. And oh boy, we got... I hate the illusionists or whatever they are and commanders. I almost die. Thankfully I have some regen going on, but this is not conducive for me. The crossbow people hurt so much. These commanders or captains, whatever you want to call them, are really making me struggle with my souls. Gotta get them up here. But just, yeah, and there's another one. I am not picking them up because I'm already struggling enough. I mean, if I was going for loot and things I had a better armor set on, I wasn't trying to do it this way, I might just try to do all these little flags to guarantee a legendary, because that would be honestly pretty solid. Drop that. See, look at how much little that TNT did to that captain. That's just bizarre, and I almost died there. I've had so many of these close calls for like death from the crossbow or the just anything. It's so much damage. Look at that. It took like not like 25%, but a good amount. Let's grab the TNT, do a little more damage to them over there. Oh yeah, look at that healing. Gotta use a potion though. Thankfully they don't have thorns. If they had thorns, this would be even harder. And then I realized they started to have thorns, or they were hitting me. I don't know exactly. All I know is I was starting to die, and I was just like, I can't let this happen. Gotta get them apples. Every little bit of regeneration definitely helps. And we're slowly working our way through this. But there are so many captains, so many named mobs, pillager captains, things like that. They hurt so much. And oh my gosh. And yes, I almost died like twice here, which is crazy I didn't die. I was like thankful. And you're gonna see me here really try to just take a break, a breather, get them bees in there, since I'm now starting to realize that bees spawn. They're gonna really come in handy with this. I do like the bees as a pet follower because it's such a unique mob to actually have you help you. So little HP, but they can put in some good work. They definitely can, and it's definitely needed. I'd say if you can't get the bees on them, without the bees here, I would have not been able to get this far. In all honesty, I hope they keep the bees into Minecraft Dungeons too, because it's just such a fun build, unique and quirky, and like you'll see here, the power of the bees from just the rolling portion, because they're gonna come in so handy, especially when your arrows hit them. The bees will then go target them even without that being on one of those bows that make the enemies ready. Just you hitting them makes it so the bees will be aggroed onto them. And I really rely on these bees because I noticed that if I'm going to try to fight the final boss, even with this last life, I'm going to need a stack of souls for when they die. So that way, when they die, I can resummon them back and forth, because the bees won't be enough. And look at the enchanters just gone. Thankfully, they're all just gone. The soul, not dagger, but sword, actually does amazing work. I love that it's a one thing. However, its attack speed is a little slow. But you know what? With swirling and shockwave, all day, every day. I wonder what new enchantments they'll come up with in Minecraft Dungeons too. Because I really do hope they have some really cool stuff. Make it even more difficult than number 1 was. More challenging in time. And I hope too they bring and make like mystery armor able to be on like the legendary scaling, just because you can really have some unique ways with mystery armor, and not just having 2 perks and possibly having 3. There was one time I got a mystery armor that had 3, which has been pretty rare. I mean, it was, now the perks were chance for bees when you get hit, I think, -40 to potion cooldown, and then mobs target you more. So it's like, it's not the greatest, but it was just something that I was like, hey, this actually has 3. I was like, I thought they can only ever have 2. So that made me happy to see. But it definitely, without them having like a legendary stash where it could be all randoms, which I think they really could do with in Minecraft Dungeons 2, to really set that tone of like, hey, yeah, you can grind for this gear, but you could really get some unique setups with mystery armor, and actually get a lot of people to actually grind for mystery armor, for these like unique builds and gimmicks and like ways people can play with different setups. I mean, look at this. I'm running all soul lanterns, hoping to just have my pets fight, and I'm only healing from souls. So it's not like it's a easy task, especially since, as you can see, I'm having to back away, and it's game over. So yeah, I never even made it to the boss. This soul pet thing is really cool. It's definitely a challenge. But like some of this stuff, maybe there's some better armor in the DLC. But you know what? With base game armor, it's a good hit. So yeah, thanks for joining in, tuning in, and we'll see you next time with the next Minecraft Dungeons build.